So part of my past is because of a relationship with God like we all have. The Spirit said, do what I called you to do, and I'll take care of the rest.
When you get into that space of realizing who you really are at a core, which is energy, then you can raise your vibrational frequency, your energy level, up to a level where you can connect and make that divine connection.
Black people in this country have to embrace ownership. We don't own anything. Therefore, all the dollars we get go out to somebody else who owns things.
Look for a miracle in America's mess and make a testimony out of your test.
Hi, I'm Chaplain Maureen Burns, and I'd like to welcome you all to the show. And it is so good to have you here on Triumphant Thursday, where we discuss the triumphs that are happening in our lives, in everyone's life, and the lives of those that are in the kingdom and the kingdom of God. Today, we will be talking about a crop of justice and talking about things that happen within politics that are affecting those issues and how to look at them. So what I would like to do for you is to actually read to you an article by Chaplain PJ on this subject. It's very short, and I'll just be able to be succinct and get to the point. It says, "Dearest of all, the creator of heaven and earth, to lift a common practice within our politics, allow me to quote Malcolm X. He reminds us of one of the tricks of those hindering a crop of justice. Whenever a black man stands up and says something that white people don't like, then the first thing that white man does is run around to find somebody to say something to offset what has just been said. When I watch the people greatly oppressed, black, brown, and poor people by the empire, by an unjust system, by voter suppression, which is going on right now, standing for and rooting on behalf of the oppressor, to whom shall justice warriors turn? Even in the church, many uphold homogeneous, standardized, regular, same, irrelevant traditions, despite the dwindling membership. Where are the faith-based organizers willing to stand and speak truth to power? To Senator Kristen Sinema of Arizona, overwhelmingly supported by people of color, and Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia, who opposed carving voter right issues out of the filibuster to overcome GOP opposition. When the God Almighty armies come looking for a crop of justice, he will find Joe Madison, Sirius XM 106 Joe Madison, who fasted for 70 days. He will recognize young advocates who marched in support of voters' rights. He will acknowledge the Honorable Joyce M. Beatty, chair of the Congressional Black Caucus since 2021. She was arrested along with others in the protest to hold up the Senate. He will realize the 30-plus pastors nationwide who joined Dr. Madison on the hunger strike. We want to sing a little song. We used to sing a little song in my hometown church in chorus. When he calls me, I want to answer. I'll be somewhere working on my soul's salvation, listening for my name. My answer is yes. I heard my name. I answered the call. I'm working on my soul's salvation and the souls of our justice warriors. Is the question, will God find you among the crop of justice? So that's the issue that we're talking about tonight. The crop of justice. With looking at the issues that are going on with voter suppression in this country right now, we have to realize, and I'm saying this as a white woman who has some privilege, but we have to realize that this affects minorities. People are being oppressed. Blacks and brown, people of color, minorities, veterans, seniors, they're all being oppressed because the restrictions that are being put on voting rights are making it so that these people that sometimes find it hardest to get to a poll box are unable to go and complete their vote and do the things that they need to do as justice warriors. Some of the strongest justice warriors we have are in a position where they're not able to vote. For instance, Native Americans. The rules that are being imposed right now make these people that were the first Americans, the Native Americans of this country, unable to get to a ballot box. That is absurd. Instead of providing more ways, such as mail-in ballots and opening ballot poll places for longer hours, weekends, whatever adjustments need to be made for the people in the area to be able to cast their vote, more and more limitations, especially by the GOP, are being put on the people who need, want, and desire to be able to vote. So, what do we say to these things? The church has to take a stance on some political matters, and when it comes to oppression, we have to definitely look at what is going on. The church for far too long has been, unfortunately, sometimes on the side of oppression as the white majority made the rules. Recently, as you know, I lived in Hawaii and I watched what happened there with the church when they came into that wonderful country it was at that time and turned it into a state and removed the queen from her position. But the church today needs to look at issues of oppression. In Hawaii, they're giving back land and they're doing things in terms of reparation. We need to look at what's happening with voters' rights. We need to look at what's happening with the way and the means of being able to cast a ballot and how they're being limited or even outright eliminated. This is an important issue politically, but it's also an important issue for the church. We need to be able to stand up and make sure that our Black and brown brothers, minorities, Native Americans, seniors, military personnel can vote. If they choose to vote, they should be able to vote. Instead, limitations are being drawn in the sand. Lines are being drawn in the sand saying you may not cross. Why is this being allowed? We have to ask ourselves. We have to ask ourselves the traditional question: what would Jesus do? If he were here today, he always sided on the side of the widow and the orphan and the oppressed. I think it's pretty clear what he would do. He would make a way. He would make a way for the people that are being limited right now. And the church needs to be able to try to make a way. We need to listen to the voices that often don't get heard. And we need to listen to the votes that will not be able to get cast. Is the majority the majority? Really? Now 1 in 5 persons in this country is a Latino or Latina. We need to realize that Black and brown voices matter. We need to do whatever we can to make voting something that is available to all. I personally am a 100% disabled veteran. Fortunately, I'm able to walk, talk, think, feel, and do the things I need to do. My disability is not hinder me physically, so I'm able to get to a ballot box. But when I think of my brothers and sisters that served that are wheelchair bound or hospital bound or seniors in veterans' homes, how are they going to vote? What is going to happen to their vote? What is going to happen to their voice? We have to ask ourselves these questions. Sue, do you have any input on any of this?
Well, I've just been sitting here listening to you. First, I want to say, Sanette, if that's how you pronounce the name, I see you in the studio. Dr. PJ will be with us shortly, and so she will introduce you when she's able to come on. And I also want to welcome those of you who are watching, who have tuned in to Triumphant Thursdays. Dr. PJ right now, Chaplain Maureen is leading the conversation, at least for this first half, on looking for a crop of justice. And so, one of the things, while you were talking, Chaplain Mo, one of the things that you stated was, what are we going to do? What would Jesus do? And I said to myself, well, Jesus will get in some good trouble.
Yes, ma'am.
Jesus would definitely get in some good trouble, and Jesus got in a lot of good trouble when back in the day, which is you know how that ended. But I think that we have to find, and I think we probably mentioned this too last week. We have to find what it is in our hands to do. A lot of times when people think about voting rights or anything political, right? So let's just say anything political, they might feel a little helpless, right? If they're not called to be on the front lines, if they're not called to be the ones that that hold high offices, if they're not called to be the ones that are marching, right? They might feel a little helpless and really not know what it is that they can do. And, there is power in a phone call. There's power in picking up the phone. There's power in writing a letter. There is power in making a meal for someone who's on the front lines. There is power in babysitting for someone else that's out there doing, with feet on the ground doing the work. There is something that you can do. And so my recommendation is that you find what it is you can do and do it. Everyone who is concerned about this and any type of social injustice can find what is in their hands that they can do. So those are some of the things that came up for me while you were speaking, and then we want to hear from you guys. I see you in the audience. Somebody like, hey, Christina Jones, thank you for joining us tonight. If you're here, shout it out in the comments. What do you think you can do? Or what is something that you are doing?
Eleanor Roosevelt had a wonderful saying, Sue: do what you can, where you are, with what you have.
Yes.
And she was a politician in her own right, and we have to remember that every vote matters. That's what we're talking about. Every vote. You can't sideline thousands and thousands and thousands of people and call it a legitimate election. And that is exactly what's happening. Voter suppression.
Right. But that is proof that we have the power to turn the tide. If we didn't have the power to make change, and this is for anyone who says, oh, the voting system doesn't work, it doesn't matter, it's never going to go my way. If we didn't have the power, the collective power to turn the tide, right, to push the needle, then these laws, these things wouldn't be being put in place. We wouldn't, we wouldn't be getting this pushback, or rights wouldn't be being suppressed if we did not have the power, right?
And there's a reason we call this Triumphant Thursday, because of the issues you just raised a few moments ago about what we can do, Sue.
Yeah.
Babysitting, providing a meal, pushing a wheelchair of a veteran down a block or two so that they can get to the voter box.
Yeah.
getting on your phone and calling your local. Start with your local people that you can affect. Call your mayor, call your city council, and ask them, who do you need to direct your next phone call to?
Right.
And dial the phone. Anybody can dial the phone, and if you can't dial it, you can get help and assistance nowadays. Use your
Right.
computer.
Yeah.
Send emails. Flood the offices with emails. Anybody can take 2 minutes and write an email saying what their opinion is and why they think their voice should be counted.
Yeah. I love what you said about the getting involved on a local level too, because a lot of, particularly Black and Brown people, especially with the last vote with Biden, you see how Black and Brown we came out in droves, right? And so, but with the most recent election, we didn't show up, and I was just like, don't stop, right? The same way you showed up in droves to get Biden in office, and not that Biden is perfect, but the same way that you showed up in droves to get Biden off, you have to keep that momentum. And really, the changes are made on the local level, right? Don't just show up for like the major elections. All those little city elections that the smaller elections that you have on the local level, show up for those too. Like get involved.
And they're like dominoes. One affects the other, and they pick up momentum as they go along, and then they hit the higher politicians as they gain speed.
Yes, and
I read something today that concerned me. It said 57% of GOP people in the next election will not vote for a Republican candidate that doesn't say that the election was skewed. That's scary. So we need to, those of us who believe in democracy, and I'm not just talking about democrats, I'm talking about democracy, the idea of democracy. We need to get out there and challenge that. The election has been said over and over and over and over again that it was won by Joe Biden. There is all kinds of proof and evidence and circumstances that show that that is factual. And yet there is still 57% of the GOPs that believe that something was not factual. This is insane. We're a divided country.
Yes,
and we need to all come together for the greater good.
I agree. Christina, hey, Christina again. Christina says, there's a quote by Brittany Murphy. It says, "Kindness is love with your work boots on." And she said, "What you have learned, do." That's what you have learned. Powerful. That's powerful. Woo, that's what you listen. I got chills, Christina. That's what you have learned, do. What time is it? Yeah, okay. So we are going to we'll do our break now. And then when we come back, we will have Dr. PJ and our guest, Annette. And if I am mispronouncing your name, you could get at me when you come. you could correct me, please, when you come online. And then we'll be back also with Chaplain Maureen Burns. So let's get into our announcements right now. Thank you, Chaplain Maureen.
No worries.
All right, everyone. So welcome once again to Triumphant Thursdays with Dr. PJ Anderson. We're so glad that you are here. And we want to remind you that we are on Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can join us on Facebook in two places, at SFG Without Walls and also at Chaplain PJ. We are also on Twitter and on YouTube, and you can find us in both places at Dr. PJ Anderson. And we want to make sure that if you are not on Facebook right now, or if you're on one page and not the other, that you go ahead and you like both pages on Facebook. We want you to follow us on Twitter, and we also want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If there is an idea that you have, a topic, a guest, We want to hear about it. So please contact us on any one of those platforms. And we will be sure to get with you so that we can hear all about the wonderful ideas that you have. If you join us on Tuesday evenings, we have the Veteran Among Us, LGBTQIA, Veterans Plus, the National Veteran Support Group. Chaplain Maureen was on, as she, along with Chaplain PJ Anderson, are the co-moderators for that group. We are on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and we want you to look. We are not on every Tuesday, so want to make sure that you like our page and join our group on Facebook so that you can be kept up to date on when we are on. So to like our page, just look for TFAM Veterans, and also to join our group, look for TFAM Veterans Group. Again, if you identify as LGBTQIA, you're a veteran or you are allied, we want to hear from you. We want to hear about the topics that you want to see us cover during our broadcast and the guests that you would like us to have. So that's hit us up on any one of those in our group or on the page so that we can get that information from you. Chaplain Maureen is an advanced law of attraction practitioner. The name of her organization is Transformations Possible. Learn law of attraction and spiritual principles for success. She has life coaching services available. If you're interested, send her an email to transformationspossible@gmail.com or give her a call at 808-264-6252. We want you to join us on Wednesday nights. On Wednesday nights, join us for Beyond the Gatekeepers with Bishop Yvette A. Flunder, Dr. Vanessa M. Brown, who is my pastor, and Bishop Carlton D. Pearson. We are on Facebook in two places. One is at Bishop Flunder, and the other is at Beyond the Gatekeepers. We're also on Twitter at Be Gatekeepers and on YouTube at Beyond the Gatekeepers. And if you've ever watched us on a Wednesday, you know that we have some good conversation. And so we want you to join us again Wednesday nights, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time or 5 o'clock Pacific. Cara Solutions, focus on your passion. Let Cara handle the rest. Cara offers remote production, video conferencing, administration, and tech support. An example of remote production is what you're watching right now. This Triumphant Thursdays by Dr. PJ is remote produced by Cara Solutions. And so let Cara do the heavy lifting so that you can focus on that event. We offer custom branding, show development, training, and more. If you are interested, visit our website at www.cara-solutions.com. If you have an idea for your own show or your broadcast or podcast, not sure how to get it started, I can help you with that. So send me an email to sue@cara-solutions.com for a free consultation. We have advertising and sponsorship opportunities available at Triumphant Thursdays with Dr. PJ Anderson. There are 3 ways where you can do this. The first is with an info banner or an info listing or a banner right here. That's an example of one. And in this space, about 200 characters, we could list your service, your ministry, your event, anything that you would want to have advertised, spoken about while we are doing our announcements moment. Oh my God, I'm getting tongue-tied. And that's at $15 per week. The second way is with a static overlay or a flyer ad at $25 per week. That's what you're looking at right now. It covers up the entire screen, and basically it's your promo graphic will go into this spot at $25 per week. And the third way is with a video ad. And this is an example of what your video ad could look like. again, that's an example of a what your promo video ad could look like here on Triumphant Thursdays. And so if you need one created or static or video ad created, contact me at sue@cara-solutions.com. If you desire, if you don't want to advertise and you're not in the market to be a sponsor, you can still donate. We invite you to sow a seed. And you can donate to our ministry at $ Triumphant Thursdays via Cash App at $ Triumphant Thursdays, or send a paper check to Space for Grace Without Walls, UCC, P.O. Box 23173, Lansing, Michigan 48909. And we are so appreciative of all of the ways that you support us. Again, we ask that you share this broadcast if you're just coming on now. And we are going to get ready to go into the second half. I want to thank Chaplain Maureen again for leading us for the first half of our conversation tonight. But we're going to have our guests come in as we go into our second half.
Can't hear you.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Kind greetings and welcome back. Thank you, Chaplain Maureen. I think we're going to hire you. I love you leading the first half of the broadcast. Good job. Good job. God bless you. Want to say before we bring in our guests that we are so grateful to be connected with our bishop, the Reverend Dr. Bishop Yvette Flunder, founder of City of Refuge, United Church of Christ in San Francisco, and also our prelate for the Fellowship of Affirming Ministries. All of us, Pastor Sue, Chaplain Maureen, and I have had or have the privilege of being connected with her leadership in some way or another. And we want to thank God for Pastor Sue, who does an incredible work with her broadcast. So grateful that we are a part of her network, and we are grateful for her pastor, Bishop-elect Vanessa M. Brown, also founder of Rivers of Living Water Ministries. How about that? Got it right that time. Okie dokie. This is a powerful, and if Chaplain Maureen or Pastor Sue has not mentioned it yet, we are a part of, what did you say, Chaplain Mo, 160 movements or congregations or services or ministries around the world, including the motherland, Sister Sonette, who will be joining us shortly. Asia and
Germany, Mexico,
Germany,
the United Kingdom,
and all over the United States. So if you are listening and you're looking for a radically inclusive church and serving a radically inclusive God, you really want to be a part of the Fellowship of Affirming Ministries. We're going to see what we can do to get a list of our churches, particularly here in the United States. And if there's one near you, if you're in New York, for an example, you definitely want to go to Rivers of Living Waters Ministry. If you're in San Francisco, City of Refuge.
Oakland.
Say again?
Oakland, not San Francisco, Oakland.
Oakland, thank you. Oakland, California. We have Pillars of Love and in Chicago. We have the Gathering or the Gathered and also in Chicago. I mean, and in Cincinnati, we have. I mean, we're everywhere, And of course, if you're in Lansing, we have Space for Grace, but we do mostly veterans. But you're welcome. You're welcome, whether you have a connection with our veterans or not. As you may remember, on Thursdays we talk about our triumphs and we talk about our victories. And Chaplain Mo and Pastor Soon, I thought of a song that we used to sing in the old church, and the chorus goes something like, "Victory, yes, victory, hallelujah, I am free. Jesus gives me victory." And it's been a long time. I probably haven't heard it or sung it in a good 40, maybe 50 years. But those old hymns are coming back to me, and I'm grateful for that, because we all have something in our lives that we can celebrate, something good. And many times things are not what they look like, but if you just peel back a little bit of whatever's dark in your life, you will see a glimmer of light, because Jesus is the light of the world. And more importantly, Jesus has declared that we are the light of the world. So somewhere in our being, there's some light that we can find. Somewhere in our heart, there is some joy that we can find. Somewhere in our minds, there is some peace that we can find. And so we like talking about those kinds of things. And one of the our guests tonight has an amazing, victorious uh, uh, testimony. That's what we're going to call it, victorious testimony, to share with us tonight. So we're going to bring her in, Pastor Sue. This is Sister Sonette Van Abrida.
Beautiful.
Did I get that correct?
Yes, it's Sonette Van Brida.
Okay, Sonette Van
Brida.
Brido.
Yes, Brida.
Sister Sonette is visiting with us in Dallas. She was here for our network. Was it a network boot camp or book camp? Amazing. Flew all the way from South Africa and is staying. You got about another week?
Now, I'm actually going to go be here for 6 months.
Ah,
Wonderful.
very good. Well, Sister Sonette, I would please tell us a little bit about you before you tell us about your amazing journey. And let me just pause here parenthetically and say to the listening and the viewing audience that Sister Sonette is one of at least 100 of us that are a part of the International Co-Author Network. The founders are Emilio, who was in our show about 8 months ago, Emilio and his wife, Daniela. And we meet every Thursday. I announced tonight that I don't know what's happening next Thursday. It's probably on my calendar somewhere. I just knew that I would not be on the broadcast next Thursday. I'm going to miss it. Oh, I'm going to miss being with you guys. But we'll be back the following Thursday. How about that? So
It will
tell
be
us,
wonderful.
yes. So tell us something about you personally.
Thank you so much. Oh, you're so beautiful. Thank you, Dr. PJ. My name is Sonette, and I am 56 years old. I have my husband and myself are married for 31 years, and I have two beautiful children. My son-in-law is my child as well. So I've got three beautiful children, and I've got two beautiful grandsons. So I am truly blessed with everything that's in my life, and miracle happens every day. So I have so many things to say thank you to our beautiful Lord.
Amen. Amen. So it sounds like that you're a believer.
I cannot, if I wake up in the morning, the first thing I say, thank you, my beautiful Lord, for giving me another day to breathe, to smile, to hug somebody, to laugh, to be loved, and to give out my sparkles.
That is amazing. I don't know if you read the chat that I sent to you when we were together on our network, but I saw the post that you put on either Facebook or Messenger, but I think it was Facebook, where you were talking in the mirror. And sometimes I tell the folks, if you want to know how beautiful you are, go to the mirror and say you are one fine, good looking, awesome person. And I asked you, where did you have the camera? Because I couldn't see the phone. Where was the phone positioned?
It was actually here at the back, so you only saw the reflection of me in the mirror, so you couldn't see it.
Okay.
But Dr. PJ, my husband called that video a snot pot video. So people asked me to start doing the videos and put myself out there on YouTube, and I did this video. And he said, because I am doing it the last 2.5 years, I'm doing self-love. I have built a relationship with myself in the mirror. And he told me, Sanit, nobody is going to look at this snot pot video. So just before I left South Africa, I said to him, I call him Liffy. It's love one in my language in Afrikaans. I said to him, Liffy, did you see my snot pot video? It has the most view.
Outstanding.
Yes, I said to him, people needs to know they're beautiful. I tell people all day they are beautiful. They are enough. They are magnificent, because people are so worried what other people think about them. They must just go back into their heart and find their own awesomeness.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
used to have on my mirror a piece of paper that simply said, I am enough. I had that affirmation there. So every time I went to brush my teeth, I would be reminded.
Oh, wow. I loved it. Yes, we are enough. And I always said we're all born with our beautiful talents that God have given us. And we have all our wisdom inside of us. We just need
Yes.
to take it out and bring it
Yes.
out and shine.
Absolutely. Before we go on, I want to thank Sister Christina Jones, who just announced that she has to leave. We thank you for being with us tonight, and we look forward to visiting with you again. We are grateful for the honor of your presence. Okie dokie. So tell me the names of your children. You have 2 sons and a daughter, right?
Yes, yes. My son's name is David, but the Afrikaans version of David is David. We have a lot of Christian names, but Afrikaans Christian names that's out of the Bible. So my daughter's name is from Esther, but we call it, she was Christian, Esty, and my son David, and my husband's name is Petrus, is the equivalent of Paulus, is this the Afrikaans version of that, and my second name is Esther. So we have incorporated, and then my daughter married a beautiful man called also Petrus. So we've got my husband Petrus and my son-in-law also Petrus.
Okay.
So it's just amazing. And then I've got 2 beautiful grandsons, Zander and Zayden.
Oh, that's awesome. How old are the grandsons?
Zander is 6, and my beautiful new grandson, I didn't see him with my own eyes yet. He is almost 2. His name is Zayden.
So he's almost 2 weeks?
2 years.
Okay, and you haven't seen him yet?
No.
Oh my goodness. That's something to be excited about. You're going to be going back to a relatively new grandson, 2 years old. He might be a little shy before he warms up to you. You think?
And we do chat every day, and because they are in New Zealand and we are in South Africa, and the New Zealand borders is now still closed
Yes.
I don't know even if they will open this year as well. So
Yes.
for the last 3 years, I didn't hug my little Zander or my
Oh my.
daughter or my grandson. So, Dr. PJ, my biggest wish is to hug them and just to feel the little ones' butterfly kisses. So I know that the Lord will grant me that biggest wish. I cannot wait.
Oh, that's outstanding, Sister Sonette.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Now, Sister
Well, we
Sinette,
were,
I understand we see a lot less of you now than we used to. Is that where
Yes,
you want to take this conversation and tell us about some of that story?
yes. Let me just show you quickly.
okay. That's the
Wow.
same that's the same person?
Yes, it's me. It's me.
Oh my goodness.
So I will just let you know. I was almost all my life I was overweight. As a child, also overweight, and security was my daughter have lost her unborn baby in South Africa due to violence, so they decided to go overseas and lived in New Zealand, and we visited them in March 2019. And we also thought maybe we also need to go there. So first of all, in New Zealand, the regulations say you must have a BMI of 35% to get a permanent position. I was um, I was 125 pounds over that limit, and then but my biggest thing came, and I would just to tell you guys how beautiful the Lord was for me. Were on a hike on a beautiful beach in I cannot remember the name now quickly, but it was a beautiful beach, and my family were already in the caves exploring. It was about 3 miles from the car park to the caves. I was struggling to get there. The sand was difficult to walk. It was a cloudy day. There was no sun. And I remember I cannot stop because if I stop, my grandson will ask me, Omi, and Omi is a beautiful word for nanny or grandmother. Why are you not in the picture? And I didn't want to tell my grandson, Omi is too fat to get to the cave. So I remember that day I was so desperate. I was alone. Although I was alone around me, but I was alone in all this fatness around me. And I remember I looked over the waves, and the waves was quite rough. And I couldn't go on my knees because if I go on my knees, no, there was nobody to pull me up. And even if I talk to you about it now, I do get tearful because I remember I was so desperate. I asked the Lord, please, please, can you not help me? The fat is suffocating me and I cannot take it anymore. And the sun was not out, and the sun came out and it hit my face and it hit my heart. And that day, the 6th of April 2019, my life have changed forever. That day, I made a promise to God, if He can help me, I will do anything. I will do everything. And since that day, I have changed my life, my lifestyle. I have even changed my color. My favorite color was always red, and now my favorite color is orange. I have changed everything in my life. And he have helped me to put the right people, the everything, get me to a dietitian when I was back in South Africa. I do this beautiful thing with a forever song. He have helped me to get my forever song, and I call it Walking on Sunshine, into my heart. So it was part of helping me if I want to eat a chocolate. It came in my mind and in my body, Sinead, before you eat that chocolate, go and dance on your forever song. And then I will dance, walking on sunshine. Woohoo! I'm walking on sunshine. And then I will go into the mirror and I will say, Sinead, do you still feel like a chocolate? And then I will say, no. No, I don't, because I had my dance and I made a promise to God. So and I put myself first. For the first time, I will say, Sanit, you're the most important person in your life. If you look after yourself, you can look after anybody. If you love yourself unconditionally, you can love anybody. So I had to make sure that I start with me for the first time in my life. So I can say I have reinvent my life at age 54, and it's now 2 years later, and I love my life. I am so blessed to be me.
I
And how much
love the
did you
way you
lose,
say
Sinead?
that.
I have lost 165 pounds.
165 pounds.
Well, Sinead, I'm 61 years old, and I didn't do quite that much, but I went from 234 to 165. I lost 80 pounds during COVID.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
but it was by choice because I got diabetes, and the doctor told me if I could lose some weight, it might help. I no longer have diabetes.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. Wow, wow, wow. So proud of you. So proud of you.
That's amazing. Uh,
That's amazing. So,
Thank you for sharing that, Chaplain Maureen.
oh, wow.
Uh, I'm thinking. I am very encouraged by both of you. I couldn't lose 165 pounds because then I would be 30 pounds and that wouldn't look very nice. I don't even think I can lose 85 pounds, but I can certainly lose 20. So I'm going to concentrate on that. And that was inspired by your grandson.
It was inspired by my grandson. I wanted to hug him every day, and before I had only a few months. I had only 18 months to do that because he also I'm joking, but I was too fat to go to New Zealand first, and now I'm too old because I would have gone over to New Zealand in April 2020, but in March all the borders closed down. So now I have a new why. I'm venturing here in the USA, and I'm doing the public speaking. Never thought I will be able to do that, helping other people to also change their mind, because you can go on millions of diets. If you don't change your mind, you will go back to where that you were, and you will pick up the weight again. So
Yes.
I'm still inspired now. I've got two grandsons, Xander and Zayden, and I want to work from anywhere in the world so that I can be able to hack them every day. That's my biggest wish. It's only my husband and my son and me in South Africa, my daughter and her family in New Zealand, but the rest of my family are all here in America.
Oh my.
So all of my adult life, we were never together on birthday. So that is my biggest wish, is for us to be as a family together. If it's Christmas or it's somebody's birthday, to have it, to see each other, to touch each other. So that
How,
is my
did you come
biggest
to
wish.
get to spend 6 months here, Sinead? How did that occur?
It was so a miracle. First of all, I wanted to come, and then President Biden closed the borders for South Africa. He only opened it up on the 1st of January, and then the e-tickets were like 3 times more than it used to be. And then my sister and my brother-in-law have sponsored me to come. And then the travel agency phoned me. She said, Sinead, it was Sunday, the 3rd of January. There's 2 tickets left for 15,000 rand. I'm not too sure. It's about 1,000 and something dollars. Do you want to have it? Do you want to take it? And I phoned my sister. I said, Renal, the tickets is 50,000, 5,000 rand. Will you still sponsor me? And she said yes. And oh, Chaplain Maureen, and everything just miraculously happened. I was by myself in New York. I had my first taste of snow, and I couldn't believe the snow is so soft and so beautiful. And I was all around New York. Then I went with a fast train to Philadelphia, and I met Emmanuel. I call him my lighthouse, and Daniela, my milady. I met all these beautiful people at the boot camp, and then I flew to Dallas, Texas. So everything, my years start off with a bang, and I don't know why I want to cry. I am so blessed. I'm so happy the Lord have blessed me with all these miracles in my life.
Yes. Oh my. So are you
Now
going to
that
visit
is a
other?
triumph.
Yes, absolutely. Are you going to visit other cities?
Yes, a few of the guys want me to go to Denver. So somebody said she will come and pick me up, and
Go to
she's gonna
where?
to Denver, Colorado.
Uh-huh.
Denver,
Okay.
Colorado. So she said in February she will come and fetch me, and we will do a road trip to go to Denver. So I have asked the Lord. I love to speak in front of with the author when I told my story, and I know that God have blessed me with the words to inspire people. So I have asked him, if it's his will, I will be ready with my hat. I love my hats. With my hat and my lipstick, I will stand in front of people. So I'm ready to put myself out. If you asked me 2 years ago if I would ever have that, I don't think I would. But the Lord have helped me to lose so much weight, and my confidence is so much higher, and I have a story. But I think everybody has a story, and we
Yes.
are all born to shine. So yes, I am shining. And in the evening, when I go after my praise and reading the Bible, I will ask myself, Sanette, did you leave your sparkle in somebody's heart and in memory? And with that smile of yes, I normally fall asleep, and I say, thank you, my Lord. Thank you.
Amazing. If I didn't know the Lord, I sure would want to know the Lord now. So, have you been speaking in front of folks since you've been here?
I did, my first public appearance was on the 8th of January. So it was my
Ah,
first one. But I did start in August last year a beautiful group, a ladies group. I call them my Diamond Beauties. We have moved over to Facebook now, and we are about almost 90 beautiful ladies. And every Monday, we have a power hour where I get a motivational speaker to come and talk to us. And then from the ladies from the group, two of them will come and inspire us with their story. So I have done the online thing, but not in front of people. My Dr. PJ, my heart was like, I was like, and then I
yes,
couldn't hear because it was so loud. It was in my ears. Then I
yes,
looked at it and I just said, "Thank you, Lord. Give me the courage to shine and tell the people about you, because the 6th of April 2019 was my new life day. It's my perfect day.
Independence Day, Sine. Your
It,
Independence Day.
Thank you. I want to say my D Day, but then somebody reminded me I mustn't use that, especially in America. So I didn't know what else would do, but I love that. Thank you so much, Chaplain Maureen. My Independence Day was the 6th of April 2019. And, when I shared it and I saw people were crying, I knew that's what I want to do. I want to inspire, stand in front of people and inspire them. So yes, so Dr. Peter, this is what I want to do.
okay. Well, um, our beloved Pastor Sue has chills from your presentation. I don't know if you can see this. She says, "Whew, I have chills."
I,
That's so beautiful.
I don't
Uh,
know where to look. Oh, there it is. Yeah,
yes,
thank you. And may I just say, Pastor Sue, you look beautiful. Your photograph on that promo that you did for the video, you are a beautiful lady.
Can you speak, Pastor Sue, or have you just lost it?
Thank you. I mean, I'm so inspired by your story. I'm so inspired. This is what Triumphant Thursdays is all about. And I'm
Yes.
so inspired and so moved by your story and the passion with which you speak. And I just know God is just going to continue to bless you and continue to open doors and put you in places that you thought that you never would be, to speak to other women and inspire them as well. So I'm so grateful for you. I've just met you, and I'm so grateful for you already. And I'm
Oh,
grateful. I'm grateful for your example of what can happen when when you've had enough, and that it is possible. It is possible to do it. Yeah. So you just blessed me so much, and I'm grateful. Thank you.
And I believe that we are here to come closer to Christ, that we are here to learn, evolve, and grow, and ever get more and more deeper in that relationship. It's not about religion, it's about relationship. And you have shown that you have been walking hand in hand and that your heart has been captured. And I just feel blessed by you as well, Sinette.
oh, thank you so much. That's so beautiful. You've got just the way to pronounce stuff so beautifully. I just love it. Thank you so much, Maureen. Oh, Chaplain Maureen. Thank you so much for that.
You are mighty beautiful. Yes, you are. I've been I've been thinking a lot about you, and I had shared with Pastor Sue when I got your email tonight. I said, I hadn't heard from her, so I didn't know. But I'm so glad that you asked the question and we were able to get you here tonight. I will be doing something that I normally don't do. We're going to boost this broadcast. So we're going to send it out across the nation, and people will be hearing your story all across everybody that we can reach.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And Dr. PJ, you are so beautiful. You know, when I met you the first time on the Co-Author Network, I just love you. You are your presence. And when you did the pray for us tonight, it was beautiful.
Thank
You
you.
gave me goosebumps. So thank you. Thank you for all what you all do for the veterans. And I am allowed to say thank you for your service. Although I'm not a citizen of America, but my family that I love dearly are. I am allowed to say thank you all for your services.
But you are a citizen in the kingdom or kingdom of heaven. How about
Yes.
that?
Yes.
Would you like to lead us in a closing prayer tonight?
Oh, thank you for asking. I will do that. Thank you so much. Can I start?
Sure.
Thank you. My beautiful Lord, thank you for so a blessed day. Thank you for beautiful women that show their power and that shine for all of us. Thank you for being in our hearts. We could not have done anything without your support and your love. All the world needs is love, and you are love. We love you. Thank you. Thank you. Amen.
Amen. And thank you to the viewing and the listening audience. Do you have any remarks, Chaplain Maureen, Pastor Sue, before we?
I just have one thing that was on my mind when you were saying about veterans and you were talking about voting and so forth. And I thought of somebody that embraces all of that. And that is Senator Pat Spearman.
Oh,
She's a
yes.
veteran. She's a TFAM minister. She's a senator. and she's LGBTQ. And we need to get out and vote to put more people like her in office.
Absolutely.
That's a triumph. To be able to get people of her character and her integrity to be able to hold public office, we need to get the vote out.
Well, very good. Thank you. I see I'm rubbing off on you.
It sounds that way.
Sister Sonnet, if you run across a missionary, probably a preacher, named Cyril Hartland there in South Africa, would you tell him that I said hello? He worked with us when I was working in Ohio. He came to the Ohio Conference of the United Church of Christ. It must have been around 1980.
You're going back, PJ.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I'm a long way back. But he was good for us. And he met my mom. And so I think of Cyril Hartland and his family often. So, Pastor Sue?
Yeah, just I think I've said everything I need to say. I'm just so I feel so I'm always blessed when we have our broadcasts, but I'm really so appreciative of you, Sanette. I'm just so you just made my heart happy tonight.
I've got
So I'm so grateful for you.
I've got something for you.
Oh,
How about that?
Yes, glasses.
Now you know what? You're getting ready to get in a lot of trouble because somebody's going to want those.
You're gonna put them in the mail. You already are.
Thank you again. Thank you to the viewing audience, the listening audience. May goodness and mercy follow you all the days of your life. And good night. Stay well.